Robin Hackett, y'all. Oh my goodness. I think that might be one of my favorites of yours. Did y'all feel that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Always do.
Yeah, right? Oh, thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So good day, everyone, again, and welcome to Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. Thank you for joining us here in person, on Zoom, and on Facebook. So let me clear up the title for today's talk. So it was Surrendering into Newness, because we're following CSL's global theme and topic for December. But you'll know what had happened, right?
What happened?
I was working on the sermon, and newness just wasn't feeling like it was the thing. So I said, let me just put that to the side. And I went to talk to my tree. And my tree said, no, girl, it ain't newness. It is acceptance. And for me, Jan, allowance and acceptance are siblings. So our topic today is surrendering into acceptance. So before I get there, this is our last month that we are stepping into the completion of our theme, our annual theme, Rooted in Oneness, Living as Principle. And this whole year, we had a journey of rooting ourselves in a universal principle and living it as a practice. So every month, I gave y'all homework. Every month, we had an opportunity to do it or not do it. It's all good because it's seeds that are planted. Yes? And it's something that we can go back to when we need it. So we know that it's there. Yes?
Yes.
So our universal principle that we're ending the year with, Jan, you're going to love this.
You sure?
I was like, look at God. Look at God. The law of allowing. Come on now, y'all. I didn't know Jan was going to get up here and say what she said about allowing. The topic is acceptance.
Jan didn't know she was going to get up and say that.
Jan said she didn't know either.
Comes from another side.
She didn't know, but the God in us knew. So law of allowing is our universal principle, and we are expressing that through the spiritual practice of acceptance. So acceptance and allowing, as I said, are siblings, and it teaches us that we release inner resistance and meet life just as it is. Just as it is. Because as Robin just saying, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So when we do that, we create and we allow the flow to harmonize through us and as us. So our theme for the month is shedding our skin. And so Jan, I'm curious as to why that creeps you out.
Because when I was about 3 years old, I was picking up grass on the farm where we lived, and a little snake squealed out. And to me, shedding skin equals snake.
Yes. So, Jan, if you didn't hear that, if you're on Facebook or on Zoom, Jan had an experience with a snake when she was 3 years old, and it just creeps her out. And I think snakes creep out a lot of people. Anyone else, snakes creep you out? Oh, no one else. Come see, come sigh. My father-in-law is terrified of snakes. He can't even see one if it comes on the television. He has to close his eyes. Terrified of snakes. And I think shedding our skin does kind of stir that up for some people.
Yeah, the only animal that does it, right?
But did you know that it's just not snakes that shed their skin? There are many animals that, yes, yes. Sue just said, us, we shed our skin. Yes, we do, right? The largest organ on our body is what?
Our
skin.
Our skin. Our skin. So we shed our skin because it's part of a process for our health and well-beingness, right? So what would happen if we didn't? What would happen if we didn't shed our skin? What do you think would happen?
No room for newness.
Definitely no room for newness, but we would be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
We would be in trouble.
Dry and cracked.
So I got curious about this. And the internet is so wonderful with curiosity. So I put in, what would happen if we did not shed our skin? And the internet said, do you mean what would happen if you did not shed your skin? I said, whatever, internet. I said, what had happened? So these are some of the things that would happen. We would be highly susceptible to infections. We wouldn't be able to regulate moisture. So we would be severely dehydrated. We wouldn't be able to regulate our body temperature. Our bodies would be exposed to physical injuries because our skin would not provide protection for the underlying organs and tissues. So that's just a couple. There's way, way more than that. But you get the point that it would not be a good thing if we did not shed our skin, right? But shedding our skin is not just a biological event. It's also a spiritual metaphor, right? Yes. It's a way of nature saying to us, you've outgrown this. Mm-hmm. It's time to let this go. It's time to let this her, him, they, them fall away, right? Because it's not always stuff. Sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's jobs, sometimes it's a way that we think, the way that we hold things, sometimes it's beliefs, right? It's time to let it fall away. So spiritually, shedding is the work of releasing outdated identities, stories, beliefs, and expectations. It is the holy willingness to say, this no longer fits who I'm becoming and being. It no longer fits. It's time to let this go. So there's a quote by Mark Nepo that I heard him say. He was being interviewed on Mel Robbins' podcast. Anyone see that?
No.
Watch it. It's amazing. I'm a big Mark Nepo fan. And as a matter of fact, our book for December is his new book, The Fifth Season, by Mark Nepo. I highly recommend it. So this is what he said in the interview. There are two ways human beings will basically learn. One by shedding, and the other is by being broken open. There are two ways human beings basically learn. One by shedding, and the other is by being broken open. So acceptance is dynamic. It's alive. It has a vibration. Yes?
Yes.
It's an inward movement of cooperation with reality, with what is. Not because we approve of it, and not because we accept it in the regard of being in that agreement, right? It's because we are choosing to work with life and not against life. Mark Nepo writes in this book, The Fifth Season, I want to share this with you. He writes this, and this was right after he was reflecting back on when he was going through cancer treatments. So he says, at this point in my life, I was coming to understand the more enduring nature of acceptance. is not resignation or compliance. It is not giving up. More deeply, it is how our soul cooperates with the truth of things as they are. I love that. It's our soul's cooperation with the truth of things as they are. The way a fish swims with the current of the river that is its home. In this, acceptance is not static, but quite active, requiring our dexterity. When fully engaged, the practice of acceptance gives us the strength and agility to live as fully as possible, regardless of the circumstances. So this is so important when we talk about surrendering into acceptance. Surrendering is not giving up. Just like forgiveness is not being in agreement with what someone has done. Yes? So surrender is not collapsing. Surrender is not giving up. Surrendering is cooperating with the truth. Cooperating with what is. So many times we spend so much time talking about what is not. If only, woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. That has nothing to do with what is, right? And we could spend years there, right? So surrender is a gift that we give to ourselves. Surrender is giving. So if you have young adults in your life, there's a term, you know where I'm going, right? My girls say this all the time. It's giving. It's giving. And I'm like, it's giving what? Have you heard this? Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Onay's there with me. It's giving.
I know, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my goodness.
College, yeah. No, probably not.
So, I'll give you an example. I was going out and I was dressed up and they said, "Oh, mommy, your outfit is giving red carpet." It's giving red carpet, mommy. And I was like, that's good, right? Is that good? So surrender, it's giving. Yes? You'll say that with me. You gotta say it with attitude, like you know. Surrender.
It's giving.
Yes, surrender is giving. So it is an opportunity for us to shed and to grow. It's giving. It's giving. So remember what Mark Nepro said, we learn by shedding or being broken open. I would prefer to shed than to be broken open. But there's many times in my life where I was resistant to shedding. And what happened? I was broken open. Yes. So when we refuse to accept what is, we also get stuck. If you feel stuck, look at what you may not be willing to accept. Just look there. What am I holding on to? What am I resisting? We exhaust our energy resisting reality, holding on to things that cannot change. Guess what, y'all? We cannot change other people. No matter how much you think you can, we cannot change other people. Believe me, I have tried. The only thing that we can change is what?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. So surrender to that knowingness. That only thing that I can change is myself. So I hear it all the time. The other thing that people want, but don't realize that what they really need is acceptance. when I work with people in spiritual life coaching, they often say, I just need clarity. I need clarity. I'm sure our practitioners, when people ask for prayer, a prayer that they ask for is clarity. I just need clarity. And I say, no, what you need is acceptance of what is and your role in what is. Because once you accept it, then things become clear. Things become much clearer once you accepted what is. Clarity will roll right in when we accept what is. So acceptance often opens the window where resistance keeps the blinds closed. And I guarantee you, clarity often arrives after acceptance, not before. So when we surrender into acceptance, we release rigid expectations. We trust that life is unfolding in its perfect and purposeful way. We allow the Spirit to move through the spaces that were once blocked by resistance. So what does surrendering into acceptance do for us? I'm going to give you about 6 things. It shifts our relationship with control, because we've already established that we are not in control. The only thing that we control is ourselves. It opens us to divine guidance and new possibilities. It frees us from rigid expectations and outcomes. It brings peace and clarity. It creates space for transformation. It allows life to unfold rather than unravel.
Say that again. Hold on.
It allows life to unfold rather than unravel. Yeah. Let's breathe that in. Mark Nepo also writes in the Book of Awakenings, another one of my favorites of his.
Yes.
This act of acceptance is a risk that frees us because we can't find the growth that awakes us until we give up what is against our very nature. It is this surrender without knowing what will happen next that allows our lives to truly unfold. So surrender is an unconditional yes. We're not negotiating with surrender. We are allowing it. We are accepting it. It is a yes to the truth, a yes to presence, a yes to the growth that is already within us. So life is always inviting us into the next chapter of our being. But before we can step into the brilliance of what's next, we must loosen our hold on what has been and what had happened was. As soon as you hear yourself say, and this may more so be a Black thing, because we say what had happened was, I don't know if our white siblings say that. Not so much, right?
Not often.
As soon as you hear yourself say, what had happened was, that might be a clue that there might be something that you're holding on to, there might be something there that you may need to accept, right? Because we are in story time. Whenever we start with what had happened was, it's story time, y'all. Get the popcorn,
They
right?
probably say it, but in a different way.
Say it again.
They probably say it, but in a different way.
Anyone?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has stories. Everyone
Of
tells.
course.
Well,
Let me
when
tell you.
Oh, let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you. All right, let me tell you. All right. So acceptance is the doorway, and surrender is the key. Yes? So this week, you are invited to gently and intentionally practice the holy art of acceptance. Not the acceptance of defeat, because we're not defeated. Not the acceptance of resignation, because we're not resigned. And not the acceptance of restriction, because we're not constricting ourselves either. So we're practicing the acceptance that makes room for healing, that which aligns you with the divine flow, which prepares you to grow. So we're going to practice now. So I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. And we're going to go in, because that's where everything is. Everything is in. Everything is within. So if you're with us on Facebook or Zoom, please get comfortable, get present, and just bring to mind a situation that you may be resistant. Is there anything that you have been resisting in your life? Something that you might be pushing against, hoping will change. Just bring that to the surface. And we know right here and right now that all is well, that we are safe. And we're just opening up to this energy with love. So let's take a deep breath in. So with each inhale, we invite calm. And with each exhale, we release any tension we may be holding. And we're with that situation or feeling that we've been resisting. A circumstance where acceptance might even feel challenging. We're just holding it. Noticing any thoughts and emotions that arise as you reflect on this. We just breathe it in. We breathe it out. And just for a moment, just acknowledge that there has been resistance without any judgment about it. Allow yourself to feel whatever is present, honoring your experience as it is. And take a breath. And just whisper to yourself, it is what it is. It is what it is. And feel a loosening. Feel your inner grip loosening, letting go. Imagine the resistance melting, just melting away, shedding like old skin, falling away, replaced by a quiet willingness to allow life to unfold. In the law of allowance, we allow spirit to move through the opening we are creating. We just whisper, it is what it is. Just invite a sense of surrender. Letting go of any expectations, any outcomes. Just allow guidance by a loving, divine presence that you are as you release your grip and you create space by accepting. And we take a breath. And we whisper, it is what it is. Now sense yourself giving a gentle, unconditional yes to this moment. Remember, surrender is not giving up, but allowing. It is cooperation with the flow of life and trusting that transformation and growth are possible. Feel yourself being supported, held, and guided, even as you move forward without knowing exactly what will happen next. We breathe, we accept, we let it go. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. So let's just stay here and anchor this, recognizing the infinite wisdom guiding all life. I affirm that surrendering into acceptance opens the way for clarity, healing, and transformation. Resistance is gently releasing and accepting all that is welcomed, knowing that surrender is a sacred trust in the unfolding of our path. With each breath, we invite peace and clarity, confidently saying unconditional yes to this present moment, knowing we are guided by grace and held in love. We are open to transformation. We allow grace to move through us and reveal new possibilities, because anything is possible. And for this, we are so grateful. It is released, and so it is. So let's bring ourselves back here and take a breath. So that's your love work for this week. You think y'all could do that? Maybe once this week? Anything that comes up for you? Just notice where you're resisting life. Just take a pause and breathe. If you do nothing else, take a pause and breathe and say, it is what it is. I let it go. So remember, you're not surrendering to the problem. We're not surrendering to the problem. We are surrendering to the presence. The presence that is always present exactly where you are and everywhere. And so it is. And so it is. Okay. So